This week's Retail Week is brought to you by Avail, Phosphorus Fertilizer Enhancer. Never stop pushing. Hello again, welcome to another edition of Crop Life Retail Week. It's Paul Schrimpf with Eric Spillagoy again. We're going to have you had some travel lists we've talked about in a sec. We've got travel. We're sending a sizable group to Phoenix for the Precision Ag Vision Conference, which is the sister publication, obviously, of Crop Life. And I think this year versus last year was most interesting is that we're seeing a lot of the manufacturers, a lot of the standard agriculture companies are going to come and find out, I think, what's going on in technology, what others are doing, I think, to learn and network. And then we've got a lot of folks on the venture side. Got a number of late signups from that standpoint, both as consultants and in both coasts and venture capital. So I think my theory is people are looking kind of for the next big thing. They're looking to see if there's anything they can kind of ferret out of the discussion as to where the technology is headed, because we've been pretty much in a lull period in terms of new things coming out, and people got excited again when Blue River was purchased by John Deere, and maybe there's something out there that's you can develop into a purchasable company. So we're really looking forward to it. It starts next Tuesday, and I'll be gone all next week. So that's me, and now you are out.
Well,
you were out.
I was out, yes, Paul. Actually, yeah, I spent some time this week in East Dubuque, Illinois, visiting with the folks at Tessenderlo-Kerley. They were opening a new thiosol plant there, and actually a very nice facility, Paul. Lots of room for growth if they choose to do so down the line. And here's the company's CEO, Steve Azzarillo, talking about why they were opening the plant and what it'll help the company do down the line in the Midwest.
Being here today to help us celebrate the grand opening, TKI introduced the thiosol product in 1959 to the industry. Since then, it's been a product that's helped farmers improve their yields and helped retailers improve their profitability. Since that time, we've shipped literally millions and millions of tons of thiosol out of our various plants, and we help feed the people of the world, which we think is a very noble mission for a company like ours. TKI's thiosol is a leading liquid technology for both nitrogen and sulfur for farmers around the world today. We recently opened a plant in Rouen, France, so we have international operations as well as export. With this plant, we're now able to deliver more efficiently to the Midwest, to our customers in the Midwest, and reduce the number of trucks and the freight that we have on the road. So we're very excited about that.
So that's what Steve had to share about the new Tessenderlo-Kerley plant. And I know, Paul, we'll take a quick break here, but after we come back, we'll give a couple updates on a few stories we've been following the last couple of weeks.
You bet.
We want our farmers to be successful, and if they're spending money to put on phosphate in particular, we like to put Avail with it so that a lot more of that gets into the plant. We know that a majority of it gets tied up in the soil before a plant has a chance to work with it. So we like to put Avail to increase that availability to the crop.
Welcome back. I know we mentioned on our last video about the Syngenta farmer litigation that had been settled out of court, and we had mentioned that was over the AgriSure corn being introduced, and growers basically saying that it helped curb the market for their corn, especially when it came to exporting it to China. The one thing we left out was the settlement number. And we found that out just after we did our video, Paul, but it was $1.4 billion. That'll be the settlement that the growers will be getting from Syngenta for that litigation. So, And then one other thing to update, I know we've mentioned over the last few months about the folks at North Central Cooperative and wheat growers attempting to merge their operations. They had taken a few votes there, and membership were not in favor at the time, but we have now found out that on a third vote, I believe, the memberships have decided to get together. So these two cooperatives will be formally merging as of February 1st and coming up with a new name between now and then. So Paul, again, another in the line of cooperatives merging in the marketplace.
Yeah, and moving up the list on a Crop Life 100, which I guess brings us to our final point.
Our final point, yes. The Crop Life 100, we've got in about a little more than half at this point. For folks that have not gotten us their surveys yet, you'll be seeing another form from me coming up next week. And I know Paul mentioned calling out a couple of folks if you hadn't sent it in yet. As it happened, when I was on my way to East Dubuque, Illinois for my Tricendular Curly plant visit, I happened to go through Lina, Illinois, which is where Pearl City Elevator is located. So I stopped and took some pictures of your facility, Pearl Elevator. So please get me your form because I know where you live.
There you go. He's pulling out all the stops. Well done. All right, well, that's it for this edition, this threatening edition of CropLife Retail Week, and we will see you next week. Thank you to this week's video sponsor, Avail Phosphorus Fertilizer Enhancer from Verdesian Life Sciences.